I founded the business in 2008 and I co-founded the franchise business in 2009. I've let my trade as a trader. I've got 35 years experience in catering and retailing. And I've worked as a consultant for food or machinery or companies, and I've previously owned a food catering company as well, supplying vegetarian food for functions and events. I'll hand you over to Pardip.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Pardip Das. I'm the Chief Finance Officer for CakeBox. Co-founded the egg-free CakeBox franchise with Sukh about 12 years ago when we decided that we wanted to franchise the business. I've got more than 20 years experience in the food and beverage industry as an accountant, and I'm a qualified chartered management accountant, and I qualified whilst I was working for Starbucks Coffee Company.
And if we go on to the next page, our fresh cream personalized egg-free cakes are currently sold from 157 stores as of 31st of March 2021. We've added another 9 stores since. This all started from a single shop in East London, and I'm very proud to say now that we are served by our 3 locations headquartered in Enfield, North London. We have an ever-growing presence online, and this allows us to offer a 1-hour click and collect service, and we also now can offer a delivery service from our website. If we go into the next slide, right, this page shows a cross-section of our products. From our core product, the celebration cake or gatto, available in hundreds of designs which can be personalized with a message or with a photo of the customer, through to grab-and-go selections of slices and cupcakes, to tea time treats such as our loaf cake selection and indulgent choice of cheesecakes. They're all egg-free and absolutely delicious. If we go to the next slide, we can show you this is our franchise proposition. So a potential franchisee has got an earning of an average EBITDA of 89k per annum. We are unique in the franchise industry where we don't charge a market service fee or a marketing levy. Our franchisees take advantage of our sociable hours, which is from 11 to 7, and on average they can get a 20-month payback. We offer a complete turnkey package, so as soon as you signed up and you got the keys to your premises, you come back in 4 weeks and you have a business to trade in, which will include all equipment, shop fitting, and all the training for the franchisees themselves as well. We manage the website for them and on the online ordering system, and it's a very simple ordering system for supplies on our B2B portal, where one click will get the supplies delivered to them to their door. If we go to the next slide, this shows you our application process. We have an online application form, which when received is reviewed by our senior team. If the franchisee, the potential franchisee is or passes those tests, they are sent a full franchise application form, which gives us a lot more detail about the potential franchisee. If they're deemed suitable, we will invite them to a presentation at head office, and if they pass that presentation, they come to a second interview. Once they've had a second interview, and if they pass that, we will offer them an area and we'll ask them to go and select a site which our senior team will go out and verify. Once the site selection has been done or it is taken to legals, we help the franchisee with a professional presentation to the landlord, and it sets out our heads of terms, and we're quite strict in that, so it's all in the favor of the franchisee and not the landlord. Once we receive the keys, we start the store build and we start the training of the potential franchisee. So they learn everything about the business, the running of the business, how to make the cakes, and all our secrets on performing and maintaining a successful franchise. Just before opening, we do a pre-marketing campaign on social media, and the shop is open and ready to trade. So we go to the next one. We've got the full year 21 highlights. So
yep.
you want to flick that to the next? That's it.
I'll do that one, Sukh, yeah. Right, so yeah, moving on to the financial highlights. We presented our financial results to the 31st of March this year. We had a great year. Revenue was up 17% year on year to £21.9 million. We had an increase in our gross profit and our adjusted profit before tax. Both of those went up by 25%. So gross profit, as you can see there, at £10.9 million, and adjusted profit before tax at £4.7 million. That's allowing for the £486,000 exceptional item, which we'll come on to later on. We've got a very cash generative business. We've got cash at the bank of £5.1 million, and that's up by £1.4 million in the year. And our net cash has gone up about the same amount as well, at £1.5 million. We have £1.5 million of debt in the business, and our net cash position is £3.6 million. Our adjusted earnings per share this year nearly touching 10p at 9.6 pence. They're up 23%, and that has allowed us to pay a final dividend of 3.7 pence as a final dividend, coupled with the interim dividend of 1.85 pence, makes a full year dividend of 5.5 pence in total. So yeah, we've got a progressive dividend policy. You know, we're a growth company, and we're also paying a dividend, which we're getting cover of nearly 2 times. I'll hand you over to Sukh. He's going to go through a couple of operational and franchisee highlights.
That's right. We've added 24 stores in the last financial year, and we've increased that by another 6 stores, another 9 stores since. So 157 stores from 31st of March. Our new Coventry warehouse and distribution facility is now in operation, bringing the total up to 3 distribution centres and bakeries in total. This allows us for our disaster recovery plans. So if anything happens at one depot, the other depot can take over. We continue to do research into new products, and we've successfully launched our egg-free custard, ready to eat, hot or cold, and we are developing vegan and gluten-free options as well. We've had a successful ongoing trial of 5 kiosks with a national supermarket chain, and we've secured another 6 sites. Since we launched the delivery via the delivery platforms, that was so successful that we have now launched our own delivery service from the website, and that again is going really well. And you'll go to the next one, please. The franchisee, as you can see, the franchisee or summary of the year lifted our, no, that's the, 1 second, that's right, fair enough. Yeah, I'm glad to say that the franchisee turnover is up by 17%. The franchisee sales also went up by 71%. And the like-for-like sales, a growth of 14.1% in the franchise stores. And this is in the 40 weeks comparable period from the 1st of June 2020 to 7th of March 2021. And that is in a year of crisis in the pandemic. I'm glad to say that 34 franchises have more than 1 store, and many of our franchises have ambitions to expand their store holding. We do in return give them a very good return in excess of 89k EBITDA, and we still have a strong pipeline of potential new franchises and existing ones looking for additional stores. Here you can see that we have a rapidly portfolio of our franchisee locations. This page shows the spread across the country from Southampton to the south up to Glasgow in the north, and with plenty of areas requiring our presence, such as Wales, the northeast, the northwest, the north, and the southeast. Scotland has only got one, and we're looking to increase our presence there as well. The shops are complemented by the kiosk in the shopping centres, allowing exposure in areas that we do not have shops in. 5 of these kiosks are in a major supermarkets, and we are trialling another 6 locations. If we go to the next, I'll hand over to Pardip for the financial review.
Thanks, Sukh. Yeah, just before I go into the detailed numbers of profit and loss and balance sheet, I just wanted to show you our strong financial track record. We've got growing sales and profit for the last 10 years since we've been operational. But I've just tracked 5 years here, and you can see that sales have grown year on year, even though in the last 2 years we've been impacted by COVID. So FY20 was impacted by a couple of weeks at the back end of March, where we started closing our shops and trading was going a bit more downhill. And FY21 we were closed for a period of 6 weeks in total. But since those lockdowns, the original first lockdown, we did have a strong bounce back in sales. And you can see there that we've got sales of nearly £22 million when we only traded for 46 weeks in that year. And the same with profitability as well. Good track record, growing profits year on year. Even though in FY21 we paid back all the furlough money to the government, and also allowed for this £500,000 provision for the GDPR breach that we had in FY21. We still had profit after tax of £3.4 million. Dividends and earnings per share, they're growing year on year as well. We floated in FY18 and paid a dividend. We've got a progressive dividend policy and a very good track record of rising earnings and dividends to match. If I just go on to the detailed group income statement, we talked about the revenue being up nearly 17% in the shorter trading period that we did have. You can also see on here as well that gross margin was up some 300 basis points, and that's because of the mix that we've got of the sales that we had. We manufacture our own sponge and provide that to all our franchisees, and because we manufacture that, we've got a gross profit margin of 70%. So as we have more shops and sell more sponge to our franchisees, we're seeing that our gross margin will improve year on year, coupled with deflation that we're experiencing because of the volumes that we're buying in terms of mix. So we're able to negotiate cheaper prices from our suppliers as well. So all in all, that should help drive the gross margin higher for us in the latter years. Bottom line increased, underlying profits after tax were up 23%, but if you take out the exceptional item, they're up 7.6%. If we move on to the balance sheet, probably everybody knows that our property that we have is we all have freehold property, which allows us to have quite low gearing in the company. The only debt that we've got is £1.5 million worth of commercial mortgage against freehold property in excess of £7-8 million. Our stock holding did go up by about £500,000, £600,000 year on year, and that's because we've now got 3 distribution centres where we distribute all our supplies to our franchisees up and down the country. You can see that cash has gone up as well. I'll come on to that on the next slide. And we didn't have any additional borrowing this year at all, and you can see that borrowing has come down marginally as we repay our commercial mortgage. On the cash flow, so cash has gone up by £1.5 million because of a combination of stronger trading that we had, and particularly in the second half. And also, we are a low capex company. Our capex is spent by our franchisees, and so that this has led to an improvement in our overall cash position, which is at £5.1 million, the cash and cash equivalents. Just a couple of slides on store rollout program. We've got a record number of deposits from our potential franchisees, 52 in total. We had a record number at half year at 47, and these are at various stages. So some franchisees have just placed a deposit to secure an area, and they're looking for a shop in that chosen area. And some of our franchisees are near completion. All the legals have been done, and they're probably going to complete next week, and so they're at the other end of the spectrum. And when they complete next week, they will hand over the keys to us. Our fitters will go in, and their store will be ready to trade within 4 weeks. On this slide, you can also see where our distribution centres are placed. We're on the M1, M6 corridor, serving England really perfectly here. And it's also given us, one of our goals was to reduce our road miles. And by having these 3 distribution centres strategically placed where they are, we can now service and deliver our goods to our stores. 90% of our stores within 90 minutes. So 90% of our stores can be serviced from our distribution centre within 90 minutes. And we've cut something like 80% of road miles by about 600,000. Sukh talked about the delivery platform. So about a year ago, we partnered with Just Eat, Uber Eats and Deliveroo. We didn't have a delivery service at all within our company. And so those platforms came on board, and they were, for us, they were like new marketing platforms as well, introducing new customers who perhaps haven't heard of CakeBox before. As they order their meal, they're ordering also their treats as well, their sweet treats through us. Because that was a success, we decided to launch our own delivery service from our website, where we serve about 25% of our customers in terms of overall sales that we do. And you can see from this chart as well, very quickly, we've actually increased, just in the space of February and March, increased our delivery sales from our own website by about 300%. And something that, we didn't have any sales for delivery a year ago, we're now having sales of about £500,000 per month from delivering our cakes to our customers. But our website's quite strong. Our online sales are always growing, but our customers also come in and pick up the cakes. So they've got an easy way to basically order the cakes. It's very convenient for them. They can come in, or they can order online. I'll just hand you back over to Sukh, who'll talk about where we are currently.
That's correct. And the summary of the year, literally our store count to 157 by opening 24 new stores. And despite only 46 weeks of trading, like for like was up 14.7%, with our online sales up 84%. Or we launched our delivery service in addition to the delivery platforms, and net cash was also up by 70%. Or we're very confident in the supermarket kiosk trials, and we hope to roll that out a lot further. We're very confident of making continued progress in the years ahead.
Okay. How is the inflationary environment impacting the business, and what do you foresee in terms of its impact over the coming 12 months, assuming raw materials continue to rise?
Well, our cakes are very, very competitively priced. We've got limited competition, but that doesn't mean that we put our prices up willy-nilly. We're really driven by volume, and so we are at a very competitive point in terms of the cake sales and what we price them at. And we're also fortunate, like I mentioned earlier, that we do have, as we open more and more stores, volumes are growing, and therefore we are getting better prices from our suppliers. And we are fortunate enough to have deflation in some of our prices, it's a very fortunate position to be in compared to the competitors.
Okay. Are you planning to get more analysts covering you? It would be nice to have analyst reports in the public domain.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'd never say no to that. We think the research and analyst presentation is sufficient at the moment, but it's not. It's something that we will look at in the future. We'll also consider talk to our brokers and see how they feel about increasing the concept of more reporting.
Okay. Do you plan to do? I mean, your figures are obviously very positive. You don't actually do any sales and marketing at all, or do you? Any promotional above the lines and below the line?
Oh, absolutely. Or our marketing levy is built into our sponge margins, and we do a sizable spend every year on social marketing, on social media, or we do promotions, and we're on local radio, we're on local TV as well, and we do continue to do brand innovation and marketing our brand in many formats. So we are constantly spending on marketing the brand.
And your mobile kiosks with the supermarket chain, how are they controlled? By the franchisee in that area or by head office?
It's by the local franchisee. It's an extension of their store. They manufacture at the store and they deliver the goods to the kiosk, which they sell and do a daily delivery to.
Okay. When are you launching these new products? Is it imminent?
The egg-free custard has already been launched, and that is going really well. It's taken a long time to us develop this vegan sponge cake, because there isn't a product out there which is a vegan sponge cake, and I'm glad to say we've finally cracked it. And we've developed the vegan cream. So now the people who are on a vegan diet can now enjoy a cream cake, which is very similar to our core product. And we hope to have to launch that in the next few months. It's a product which no one else has got in the market.
Okay, so moving on from that, would you sort of position yourself as the go-to place for vegan cakes, etc., and gluten-free cakes?
Well, vegan certainly we will be. Gluten, the markets are much lower, so we've only got a loaf cake in that. But the vegan, we would want to be the market leaders in or inverted commas, fresh cream vegan cake. And we really hope so to penetrate that market.
Okay, because it's a growing market, as we all know. With the opening up of hospitality, weddings and parties, etc., how much of that side of the market accounts for your revenues in percentage terms?
There's 68 million people in this country. There's 365 days of the year. If you divide them, and that you get 180,000 birthdays a day.
Right. Okay.
And so we want to be the majority of the cake providers. So the wedding, then all the hospitality, that's just an add-on. But just the birthday cake, 180,000 birthdays a day, which require a cake.
Brilliant. Great statistic, I must say. You touched upon the obviously your own website with the deliveries, but you've got Deliveroo and Just Eat. But with the increase on your own website, obviously it's better for you to use your own website?
What it is, we consider the delivery platforms more as a marketing tool. So you had your main meal and you fancy a sweet, and so you're on Deliveroo or you're on Uber Eats, and you see our treats available for you. You buy a couple of slices or a slice of cheesecake, and you find it so delicious that you move on to a full birthday cake. We offered the delivery service from our website is a complement to that, where mostly we deliver the full-size cakes rather than just a dessert. But they're great marketing tools. They give us a access to a market which we didn't have before. So people who may not have heard of us, but will still go and order a curry or a Chinese and come across us as well.
So the working with partners obviously offsets the commission
Yes, absolutely. And what we do, we've got a very unique selection for the delivery platforms, which are not available on our website.
Right, got you. And just to finish off, I've got one more question time for. In terms of franchisees, are they geographically chosen, price driven? Obviously, to have a franchisees in London, is it cost effective by whereabouts your franchisees are?
We are franchisee driven. So where the franchisee applies from, that is where we go. Or we're in a fortunate position that we've got a good pipeline of franchisees all over the country. So, or we will go to where the franchisee applies from. Or in the future, we may well do a geographical targeting. But at the moment, we're very fortunate position that we've got franchisees from all over the country, and we will go to wherever they are willing to open a shop.